So I did this other show called Ray Donovan.
Oh.
And I was playing a sex addict because people love to make me do nasty stuff because I played adorable little characters before you were born.
Sure.
So the
I'm
director...
57, Bronson.
Well, you don't look it, little bro.
I love you, Daddy.
All right, so looky. I was supposed to be a sex addict that Liev, Ray Donovan, has to come and he owes me a favor, so he has to come and save me because there's a glory hole. There's a Korean glory hole where I haven't paid my bill, and I go in and I'm humping the glory hole, and then they grab my and won't let me go because I haven't paid my bill, and they're hurting my. I'm not making this up. You can look it up.
Situation to be in.
So the director said to me ahead of time, he was British, which is what you reminded me of. He said, "You gotta promise to drop your pants and let me shoot your ass." I said, "No problem. I don't care."
Right.
So I was wearing a business shirt because I was playing a newscaster. And the business shirt, they have those old
It's kind of long. Yeah.
So he's British. Ready? And
I can't.
So I said to the prop guy who was really cool, I was like, "Could you go on the other side and just put just hurt my or put a zip tie or something around it, just do something." And he goes, "Well, yeah, but you can see their feet, so I'll have to put on high heels." And I said, "Put them on, please." So this is a true story. So he puts on high heels. He's this super manly stunt guy. He puts on high heels and he goes behind the thing so that you see these heels, and he's hurting me. And I'm going, "Ah, ah, ah." And while I was doing that, the business shirt with the long tail fell down and covered my butt.
Right.
The director is British. And the director is saying, "Shirt up, Bronson, shirt up."
Right.
But it comes out, "Shut up, Bronson, shut up." And I thought he was saying that I was yelling too loud. So I left the shirt down and I was going, "Ah, ah." And he's saying, "Shut up, shut up," because they couldn't use it unless you could see my ass. So finally, this zip tie is so tight that they had to get the paramedic. I'm not at the punchline yet, and it's really good because I don't write these punchlines. This happened. Are you ready? So meanwhile, the stuntman's back there, this super hairy guy.
The person who put the zip tie on you?
Yes, and he's in high heels. And they're getting the paramedic, and it was the paramedic's first day ever, and he's trying to cut this zip tie off me. And it's like, but to do that, you have to grab everything. So I'm going, oh. And
shut up!
I'm going, ow. She's just shut her back. So the stunt guy comes out while I'm doing this little operation with surgical scissors, and he says to me right near my ear, compassionately, and I'm not making this up, "Ronnie, if it's any consolation, these heels are killing me." You can't.
Okay, so
you
I have
can't.
I have to ask.
You cannot write better than God.
No, dude.
God is the best comedy writer.
Most bizarre story I've ever heard.
And he
about
said it.
An actor's motivation.
He said it from the heart. He said, "If it's
I have to get a
these
little
heels
graphic.
are killing me." Huh?
May I get a little graphic?
How long have I known you?
So
now, how long have I known you? 30 plus years?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So a zip tie was
it was ice cold, and it was purple
around your shaft.
Yes, and balls.
Or that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Was it used like a ring-like mechanism?
They took just a zip tie,
and he just kept tugging it.
Yeah, and it hurt a lot. And I was going,
well, now you know what one of those bowls feels like at the rodeo.
So it was purple and very chilly, and they could, and then he goes,
it turned purple.
Oh yeah,
like even after they cut it off.
No.
Oh. Okay,
and then
then
the poor young paramedic, and he said, "It's my first day ever." I mean, you can't make this stuff up. And I was like, "Okay." And he goes,
"So it was removed by a paramedic?"
Oh yeah. So he's the paramedic. He's the set paramedic. I didn't
hear that. I'm sorry.
And he had a little pair of
nail
scissors. No, they were scissors they're surgical scissors, and they had humpback whale nubbles on the end, so it doesn't hurt you. And he's like, "But in order to get it, you got to get under it." So I'm helping him move stuff out of the way. And he sort of started, he must have been 19. He sort of started to try to do it without looking. You know what I mean? And so then it hit me how wonderfully funny it was. There's this 19-year-old trying to free my junk without looking at it, which I made purple and ice cold by wanting to be method. And then there's this guy in high heels going, "I'm in pain too." You cannot
Bronson,
Write better comedy than the universe.
do you know the
Can't.
famous story about Olivier on Marathon Man?
Yeah. Why don't you just try acting?
Yeah. Can I? Do you mind if I make that suggestion
Okay.
to you in the future?
No, because that's boring.
No,
Now, the other thing is, the same director started.
Bronson, I've done some pretty okay work, and I've never had somebody wrap my privates in a freaking
Here's the
zip
thing.
tie.
I always say, and I say to the young people that I coach, I say, as a last resort, act. Otherwise, just do it, because acting, it's just it's like vanilla extract.
Can you imagine Bronson directing something in the future? Bring in the zip tie, please.
But this is how this is what they did when realistic acting first came in the 50s.
Would
That's
you
what they
zip
would do.
tie an actor for a film?
Hell yeah. Or I would say to him, if you really want to make the right sound, if you really want to sound like a wounded animal caught in barbed wire, it's zip tie town. And I might, okay. So anyway, I'm not making this part up either. So we all calm down from shut up, and the zip tie and the whole thing.
Okay.
And the director is one of those English people who always has a great story. And all I remember is the first line, and I bent double laughing, and he said, well, what's so funny? And I'll tell you in a second. I said, because only a Brit would start a story with that line and expect me to get to the middle of the story.
Right.
So do you remember a movie called Ryan's Daughter?
What is it?
Ryan's Daughter. It was a big, beautiful epic. It took place in Ireland. Beautiful movie. Beautiful
year?
movie in the 60s.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 1970. So there's a beautiful young woman, a beautiful actress named Sarah Miles. She's still at it. She was stunning, and it was a beautiful movie. So he starts this story, which I never heard the middle of, or any part of, because I was laughing so hard. So he comes up to be chummy and just be my buddy, and he says, so, Sarah Miles used to drink her own urine. And that's all I heard. I just was gone. I said, who but a Brit would start a story with Sarah Miles? Sarah Miles used to drink her own urine. Right. I didn't hear the rest of it. I never could hear the rest of it because he said, but I haven't gotten to the good part yet. I said, but that's the part that's making me so happy. Right. You think you're going to top that? Wouldn't it? But if she used to drink her own urine. So then there was a scene on the same thing in a porn shop. And we were shooting in a real porn shop. A real thing. So everybody breaks, and I don't like to fool around on sets or take breaks. Well, I want to pace. I want to stay in the scene. So I went and got like one bite of rice, and then I came back, and I was wearing pretty realistic clothes. And the dude they put at the door said, and I said, no, I'm in this. And he goes, yeah, right. And I couldn't get back on the set because he thought I was just a freaking pervert who wanted to go in, and I said, no, I'm in this.
Guilty pleasures misunderstood. It's so bad it's good.